Yeah, so if you just want to start by tell us your full name.
Hi, I'm Casey Coker Jarvis, and this is my family business. We have a vintage museum of all things old, starting with motorcycles, cars, and we even have 3 airplanes hanging overhead. My grandfather, Harold Coker, started Coker Tyre Company in 1958. My dad started the antique tire side of it in 1974, where he would go and buy the molds of the original tires and reproduce them with modern technologies. We always had, it just runs in our blood to love cars.
Yeah,
he started buying and collecting cars when he was first married to my mom. He would get around a $5,000 note from the bank, and then he ended up not having to pay it back after he ended up buying and selling. He did tractors, Pontiacs, whatever he could get his hands on.
Whatever he could make money on, right?
Whatever he could make money on, yeah. So once he actually made enough money, he didn't have to go to the bank and borrow money. Yeah. And then it just kept growing. And when he had his tire business, he'd buy the car to fit the tire. So he felt like, okay, if I'm going to showcase this new motorcycle tire, I need to have that motorcycle. So it just kind of happened organically that we developed the museum. It is his personal collection. The car behind me that you see, this is a 1909 Thomas Flyer. This belonged to my grandfather. We called it Big Red because it's big and red. So my grandfather restored this. This was his favorite car. It's been to many shows and won a lot of ribbons. Recently, it was in Buffalo, New York. My mom and dad took it up there, and they actually got to drive right next to the Falls of Niagara Falls. And it's a really cool video. I'll have to send it to you.
Yeah,
and they're driving it right next to the waterfall. It was just awesome. So it drives. This sucker will go like 60, 70 miles an hour on the freeway.
Yeah, we were looking at it before. It says that they go up to 100 miles per hour.
Yeah. I don't know if he would go that fast.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Because if it ends up, something happens, then.
Yeah, cool.
Now,
do you have a favorite car in the museum?
I do. I'll show you which one it is over here. It's a 1937 white touring bus. So my family, we're very outdoorsy. Being Chattanooga native, we love the mountains. We love all things nature. That right there, that's a Mitchell. That is one of the cars that my dad actually would take me to school in when I was a kid. And he would run that thing. That can go about 75 miles an hour.
Yeah,
so
wow.
One of my favorites is this bus right here. The 36 white. We've also got the 37 white right here. What's fun about this is it's a double clutch. It's really hard to drive. The steering is really difficult. Once you get out of this car, you are exhausted because you are like turning the steering wheel. But what's fun is it's got a tarp on top, so you can remove it, roll it all the way back. There's room for storage in the back. So when people would go and tour the mountains and they'd see, oh, let's go look at, this beautiful scenery, they'd open the back, throw their luggage in, and then they could see on top. And if it started raining, then they'd roll it back. We use this in parades. My dad will bring this home, and we'll use it on Thanksgiving parties, things like that.
That's amazing.
The newest car in our collection is this, I'm going to say it wrong, Isata Francini.
It sounded pretty good.
Yeah, didn't that sound like I know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
It's a 1927. We recently purchased this. He got this from a friend. Funny enough that he used to buy tires from a long time ago. So
what are the chances?
Yeah, it's awesome. So this has been, it's an Italian piece. So it's there's a little bit of information about it over here. So it's originally from New Jersey. We got it probably about in March, and it's really fun. And I don't know if you guys have an opinion on this. My dad recently was looking at it. We're standing here. He goes, I might want to put black walls on that. And I was like, oh, no. It's a double white wall, which I think is beautiful.
That might have to be a question for the viewers.
I know. So do you think it'd look better with black walls or not? But he thinks that it'd make the gray pop.
Right,
so,
okay.
Who knows? It's beautiful, right? Yeah. The car next to it that belonged to my brother, he passed away 3 years ago in a wreck.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
But this was one of his favorite cars. We actually had a television show in 2014. It's a 1976 International Scout, which I just found out that they are going to start making Scouts again in the United States, some in Chattanooga and some in South Carolina and Columbia. So,
excellent.
We have the original hardtop, but why would you put it on if you could just, go
absolutely.
topless on it?
Yeah, especially when the weather's amazing like it is outside.
This 32 Roadster has been in the Great Race a couple times.
Yep.
This has been coast to coast. We've done so many great races as a Coker family that I really can't remember which cities were what.
Right, yep.
As a lot of people that have done the Great Race, and this is your third time doing it, so it's hard to remember. They start blurring together, you know. This is a Chevy, a 55 that's fully original, never been restored. Another one of the cars that we've taken on the Great Race many times is we've got this, we call this double exposure. It's a 32 Ford. We called it double exposure because one side it shows 1948 when Honest Charlie was founded, and the other side shows 1958 when Coker Tyre was founded. So all the parts and tires and wheels came from Honest Charlie and Coker Tyre. So Honest Charlie Card, he was a man that was, he had a meat and free restaurant downtown Chattanooga, and he was just a good old boy. He wanted to have, you know, food getting prepared. He had to bust tables and then have somebody at the front desk getting the money, and he said, you know, I don't have enough overhead to pay for that, so I'm just going to put a sign on the cash register that said, I'm honest or you make your own change. So people would pay for their own meal, you know, $1.50, however much it was, you know, in the 40s, and he'd say, you know, I trust you. And they'd say, well, you sure are honest, Charlie. So he got that name. His real passion was drag racing and cars. So he started selling cars out of his trunk, and he'd go to drag strips and just sell parts. He ended up being the first mail order speed shop because he would draw pictures of himself. You'll have to take a video in the gift shop.
All right.
There's pictures of his face. His daughters would draw cartoons and things like that, and he would send this catalog all over the world, and people would buy catalog, you know, parts, and he'd mail it to them. And then he passed away in 1974, and his son-in-laws ran the business. It ended up going under in the 90s. We purchased the rights to the brand in the early 2000s, and so we just kept it alive. And it's a Chattanooga staple. We're still friends with some of the ESPYs and the Lombardo family.
Yeah, excellent.
So they're just awesome, and so we just, you know, Honest Charlie. We still sell El Camino front ends, but we really couldn't keep up with Jegs and Summit and, you know, Amazon nowadays. So we just are keeping the name alive. We sell a lot of shirts, so you can go online and buy some shirts. So I'll show you another car that's been coast to coast in the Great Race, and it is very loud. It's a 1937 Buick Schaefer 8. My dad and my brother, it's going to be down here. Yeah, you saw the Great Race stickers, didn't you? Yeah. It is a...
So before we get down there, in here we're making beautiful timber wheels, the old art.
Yep. So these guys have just finished a set of Marmon wheels, and they're finishing it. It's a whole process. We've got a bunch of different spokes on the wall, and if you want to walk in here, yes. Hey guys, I'm letting him take some video from Australia. So if you look up there, we've got, you know, some Chalmers, we've got some truck spokes, we've got all kinds of stuff, and we can make anything here basically. It's a pretty detailed process. Josh here has just completed this set of the wheels. You want to tell him a short little something about these wheels? What you've done?
Need the microphone if you did.
Okay, here.
So these wheels are for Thomas Flyer, and this is actually the first set that I've done that have a different number of spokes on them. So you can see these rear wheels have 12 spokes, and the fronts have 10. So that was a new challenge for me. And these also have, instead of a square edge, a routed edge on them. Something, again, never done before.
So what's the significance of the different spokes between the front and the back? Just different sizes, or
it's just the how they were done originally.
Right.
So now we're just doing them.
Oh, cool. So it's just a historical thing.
Right.
Awesome.
So it's just style, however they wanted to style them back in the day.
Yeah. Excellent. Yeah.
So even when he's making, he finishes making the spokes on this machine. What is this machine called over here?
It's a tracer lathe.
The tracer lathe. I always forget the name of that.
Close.
So you can see all the sawdust that comes off of it. I mean, it can do 4 at a time.
4 at a time, yeah. And you can see, I think there's still a spoke up there.
Yeah, it looks like one in here. Yep.
Yeah, that is a front spoke. So then you'd have 4 blanks. They're just rectangles, and this wheel traces across here, and there's spinning blades that will cut and match it to that. Obviously, they're not perfect. We do have to do some finishing work, sanding, filing, and whatnot, but they come out pretty quick. It's like 5 to 10 minutes, and you get 4 more spokes. Heck of a lot faster than carving them out by hand.
Yeah, no doubt, mate. No doubt. Yeah. Do you do much by hand, or is it all by
the
lathe?
Finishing work, like what we're doing now, the hand sanding, what Jason is doing with, we're trying to find cracks right now, which is why we're using primer by hand.
Right.
So that we can come back and either the primer will fill in tiny cracks, or it'll make bigger cracks very obvious so that we can fill them in later.
Right. Okay. So you wouldn't replace the spoke if you found a crack?
No, not like a damaging crack, just like something visual. So that
I see.
So that they don't. If it was a big crack and it was dangerous, then it would just be replaced.
I see.
So Josh here has he's been with Honest Charlie and Coker Museum since.
Well, officially back since February, but I was here over the summer.
Yeah, so he's been with us about a year, and this is Jason right here. He's what my dad likes to call Mr. Patina Head. So he's an excellent painter, and he can also do wood graining, which is a really detailed process where it makes it look like it's real wood, but it's on a roller and very, very detailed. But on top of that, he's just recently finished some upholstery that he's just developing a skill. That's not all he does. He does a lot of other things.
You're jack of all trades, mate.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, excellent. What we might do, can we just grab your full names and spell them out, just so if we'll put your names on.
Okay, this is Jason Sain, Jason Sain, and Josh, Josh, Kuczek. Gosh, Kuczek.
Excellent. Well, that's just for Ado, so make sure we don't. We
so
can't even spell it right here. We're not going to be able to put it on screen. So
and this is Casey
Coker Jarvis, and then Coker Coker, Jarvis Jarvis.
Excellent.
So, and then this is my son right here. This is Benjamin Cunningham. So give
us a wave.
Yeah. So he's learning a little bit of everything too, and watching the guys, and has really enjoyed seeing what they're doing. So he's going to be 14 this summer, and he's a car fanatic as well.
Oh, excellent.
So.
And Ben's been out to Australia as well. He's been out to visit Ben from Antique Tyres in Melbourne, down in Heidelberg in Melbourne.
Yeah.
Yeah, tell us a little bit about that, mate. What'd you get up to?
We went to Antique Tire. Didn't do much there, but it was a cool little shop.
Yeah, we've been down there. It's a great spot.
Yeah.
So Ben is actually named after Ben McKinnon in the Antique Tire. So this is Benjamin, named after Ben McKinnon. So the McKinnons were, we'll go this way, let these guys do their work, sorry. The McKinnons have been longtime family for us. It started with a fax from my dad from Coker Tyre to Alan McKinnon in Melbourne. So, and then we just developed a really good.
Ben's father?
Ben's, yes, yep.
Ben's
yep,
father,
Alan is Ben's father. And then his mom, Nolene, still works there as well. So that's just still a family business, just like we are here.
So you've got another great racer out here.
Oh, yes. Let's look at it. So this is the car that's probably been across the country the most in our family. It's gone coast to coast at least 10 times, I'd say. And my dad's driven it with my brother. My dad was the driver and my brother was the navigator. My brother started, I think, when he was 13. And my dad, of course, had to be the driver. And my brother was very engineer-minded and was really good at math and navigating, which I hear that you're going to be figuring out. So.
Yeah, that's my first great race.
Yeah,
so I'm
you're gonna
very
enjoy
much
it.
looking forward to that.
It is very fun. It's very detailed. You guys are going to be closer than ever, in more ways than one. My dad and my mom actually did this coast to coast 4 years. So, and I have been on the Great Race. I've never driven because I think my dad and I would have always wanted to be the driver.
Right. Yep.
He'd say, nope, you're going to navigate.
Yep.
But I was a GAR-PAL, which is a Great Race. We sold programs. And so my first race was 2004 I started in Jacksonville, Florida, and we ended in Monterey, California. And that was really fun because that was the first time I did coast to coast with my family. And so I got to know all the family and people that, it's a big family that does
absolutely.
it. So I'm really jealous that I'm going to go. Y'all are going to have a blast.
Yeah, we're very much looking forward to it.
Yeah, it's going to be the
One
best.
more question for you, Casey.
Yeah.
We both been representing EDI International, shipping motor vehicles all around the world.
Mm-hmm.
We have recently shipped about 40 or 50 Bentleys from all around the world to Japan.
Yeah.
They undertook a rally recently.
We have one right here.
We have this beautiful vehicle here. I'd like to maybe ask a few more questions.
Yeah,
about that.
well, this is our Bentley blower. We have driven it in the Chattanooga Motor Car Festival in the last 2 years. Funny enough, Brian Johnson from AC/DC, he has the exact twin to this car. So we had another car right next to it last year at the Motor Car Festival. It's super fun. I drove it recently with my dad, but I'm 5'2", and he's about 6'1". So I had to move the seat really far forward. And when I would put it in second, it would hit the seat and it would slip out of gear. And he kept saying, "Don't you know how to drive?" I'm like, "It's the seat." And so we get out of the car and he's going,
It's always the equipment.
It was the car. It wasn't me.
Yep. So what year model was this?
I believe I want to watch me get it wrong, and then it's on camera. I want to say 27.
27. Yeah.
That could be.
And so this is a WO.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's fun. It's in great condition. It drives great, and it is just beautiful. It is. I did some research on it recently. There's so many cars that I have to remember details on.
Oh, absolutely.
And I get them. Yeah, and I'm a mom of 3, and so I've mom brain a lot.
Yes, no, we understand.
Yeah, but I love being here. I love running into people that are car people like y'all. This has been awesome. Once you just start talking to people, and everyone's here, and it's just a fun place to be because people have a passion about cars, or they have a memory with something. So I love being here, and having my son here with me too has just been awesome.
Yeah, it's good.
And then he's actually a twin, so his brother comes on the other day.
Okay.
Being 13, I don't want them working together for my own mentality.
That's probably fair enough.
I don't want them arguing, so they argue on which day they can come. But it's been fun. So they're 4th generation, car people here. Well, actually, my great grandfather, this was his car, and I don't know if you can see close enough. You can come over here. He actually hand painted this. You can see the brushstrokes. It's a 29 Ford, and this is this metallic silver he painted. He put this together in his garage in just a normal little neighborhood in a rancher home, and so it's fun to see. That car's almost 100 years old, and I remember him putting it together. It was awesome. So.
Coker Tyre is a family business. And
a
beautiful family story there.
Yeah.
Casey, on that note, we might just cut to an ad break.
Is that all right with you?
Yeah.
Yeah, excellent. Thanks for being on Black
Thank you guys for being here.